How you met?
Oh,
You gonna make something up?
okay, I was in the spinning room. I went to work in Rocky Mountain Mill, and I was learning to put up ends on a spinning frame. And old Fats Cooper went down there and told Jesse, said, there's a new girl working down there. And Jesse said, well, let me go see. They come to the end of some machines down there, and he looked down there. I didn't see him. He looked down there. He said, yeah, I'm going to marry that girl. And I asked him, I said, Mom, I'd already been married. He said, well, I said I was going to marry you, and I will. And then we went together about 6 months. Got married.
In Emporia, right?
In Emporia, Virginia.
Okay. On Christmas Eve,
Yeah,
1937.
1937.
And why did you get married in Emporia?
Because we didn't have money to have a big wedding. And we went there and got just peace married.
Okay. Grandma says, because it only costs $2 in Emporia.
Right in the middle.
Just give us a piece of
Well, didn't you get married in Emporia too?
justice for the peace. Little key to build it.
He's the richest man in
I guess he is. Got all of North Carolina.
Yeah.
What else do we have?
Well, what else did you want to know? I don't.
Jackie, do you know something?
But she was a great
You might tell them about Thomas, which they're not aware of, probably.
Well, when we was up here in 41 or 42?
He was going probably 44 now.
44.
Or 44 or 45,
Well, we got,
because I vaguely remember it. So,
Jack has a brother dead. And he was born up at Riverside Hospital. And he lived 1 week.
And then on the shelf, $10.
We have like
Got wrapped around his neck, and they released a blood rush to his head. And so we lost him.
On the floor.
And then we went back to North Carolina in 45. Because the war was over and everybody said the shipyard, Luther said that shipyard's going to be a ghost town. Ain't going to be nothing going on there. So we got a chance, and just got a chance at a job in Rocky Mountain. And the old cotton mill, I did too. So we went back to Rocky Mountain. We stayed there until I reckon we stayed there the whole time, didn't we?
stayed there until you moved to Raleigh.
Until Raleigh, yeah.
That was 80,
That was 84.
84?
Yeah,
Okay.
because your daddy died at 88.
Okay,
We'd been there 4 years.
okay.
So that was the same cotton mill that y'all were working at when you
Yeah.
met?
Same one.
Was that like the biggest employer back then? Or-
It probably was one of the biggest employers in Rocky Mountain.
Yeah, it was, I
I
think.
forgot about that.
Are they still up? They don't even know. They don't
Southern
know.
Cross.
No, they've been shut down for a long time.
They closed in,
When did they close?
Where'd you get here?
I don't remember.
they've been closed close to 10 years.
Where
Yeah,
did? Where'd it go from?
they won't talk, that's on Talk River.
Brenda gave it to, Asa, that nitroglycerin bottle.
Oh, yeah.
It's empty.
Daddy's gonna keep the camera on, so we can walk right in front of it, it's kind of rough.
Well, you're just taping them.
Well,
She has ponytail. She has ponytail.
The war was over in, was it August
That's right.
of 45 or June of 45?
Teaches you how to.
I believe it was June, and we moved back in August.
To make a paper
Well, we moved back down there if I started first grade in
Yeah. Till it tilts down.
Rocky Mountain.
You get two paper plates.
So it must have
I
been,
think you just cut them out of baseboard and
must have moved just a couple months after the war was
it's a
over.
smiling rainbow.
I don't remember moving, I just remember,
Well, you know, I don't either now.
I remember we lived there with Grandma in one room at Roy Neff's
Sure did.
for a while, and then we moved up Brink Street there to that old two-story house.
Had an apartment upstairs.
Had an apartment upstairs that you can look up through the ceiling and see the pigeons in the attic.
I'm telling you. And then, did we move to Aunt Maggie's from there?
We moved Aunt Maggie's from there in the tenant house. They had no electricity,
And no water.
no water.
And when it rained, you had to use every pot you had in that back bedroom.
I don't
Get your
remember,
water in.
I don't remember that part.
I know. Leak.
that's that old house, that picture of
That's the
you,
house that you see in the
no
old
clapboard, no paint.
Yeah.
No clapboard, no paint.
And he's on his bicycle sometimes in the backyard.
We lived there probably a year, 2 years, Mom, I don't remember.
I don't remember.
I went to
You went to
second
church.
grade in Sharpsburg, and I started the third grade at Sharpsburg, then we moved to the old schoolhouse.
Lived in the old schoolhouse, had one room, and we cut it off with sheets into 4 rooms.
And we were there, I know, probably 47 and 48,
That's cold.
because in I think it was March of 1948, we had that
Big snow.
huge snowstorm. I think it had about like 36 inches of snow. And it was so bad that the mill bought 1 or 2 Jeeps to ferry the people to and from work, because they couldn't, even though most people live within walking distance, they couldn't
Couldn't walk.
so they bought Jeeps to carry people to and from work.
And Jesse stayed up all night down in the fire
Boiler room.
furnace. Yeah, fire in the furnace, so we'd have some heat.
In the schoolhouse.
There was 5 families and they took turns firing the boiler.
Was it cold?
It was cold.
Cold. The mill furnished the cold.
And they took turns, and it happened to be Daddy's turn the night that it snowed.
That was a big snow.
Biggest snow I've ever seen.
I think I saw one when I was 29, I believe it was. We lived on Maple Street. And Ernest is too young, it's like.
You talk a little louder, Bessie?
And, okay. And Norman was going out the back door, and Ernest said, I cut a path. Mama had chickens. Cut a path out to the chicken house. And Norman said, I can go out there. I don't remember how old those 2 kids were, Irene and he started out there and hit the top step. He never stood up no more for a long time. knew that was a big one.
Now Ernest, he only had 2 kids.
Yeah, a girl and a boy, Irene and Norman.
Do you know their whereabouts now?
Norman's dead. He's been dead for a long time. And the last time I know, Irene was in a rest home. There's something wrong with her back and feet and all. She had surgery and she was in bad shape. Now she's got one child, but I don't know where that child's at. And she did have.
They lived in Tarver, didn't they?
Tarver, yeah. And Norman's been dead a long time, but his wife is still living. The last time I talked to her, but I don't know where she is now.
Was Ernest married once or twice?
Twice.
Did-
Married Margaret Fussell the first time, and he married Jenny Mosley the second time.
The children were
Margaret's.
Margaret's. What happened to Margaret?
Oh, she's been dead.
I know, but I mean, did they divorce or did she
Oh,
back?
yeah.
Okay.
Margaret wasn't just a woman for him, no. She just loved to go and run around and all. Ernest drank. So, I'm
Bessie-
sorry to say, but Ernest was an alcoholic.
Tell us about when you were a little girl.
When I was a little girl,
Yeah. What did Grandma do? You said she like took in laundry and stuff? How did she support you?
My daddy left Mama when he found out she was pregnant. Both of them had been married before. Mama's husband was dead. And this man's son-in-law killed his wife. And so Mama met Mr. Vic, and they got married. And when he found out I was pregnant, he'd already had 10 children.
No, my grandma was pregnant.
I know.
When she was pregnant, he told her he couldn't raise another young. So he was leaving. So Mama had to raise me by herself, the best she could. Ernest and Roy would, when they were on the farm, they would help a little bit. But
So Grandma actually farmed some then?
yeah, they were living out on the farm then. Cause Mama said she worked tobacco all day long the day I was born. She graded tobacco, and I was born that evening in Wilson County. And Ernest and Roy had gone to sell a load of tobacco. And when they come back home on Sunday evening, Mama had me. And then so, from then on, we just had it tough, me and Mama. Mama took in washing, ironing, and me and her worked tobacco in the summertime.
Were Roy and Ernest either one married at that time?
I don't think so. I think they were.
Was this before Roy went in service?
Yeah. Because when I was small when he went in service. Because when he come back, he was driving. I wish I had a picture of that car. That's the funnest looking thing I've ever seen. And there was 2 seats, room for Mama and him to sit in there. We were going out the country seeing them. And I sat on the floor with my feet hanging out. I remember that much. And we went out seeing them.
And he drove that car all the way from the state of Washington.
Sure did, and he would stop him, and there's a black guy with him. And they come together, both of them got out at the same time. And this other guy won't come with him, so Roy told him, okay. And they didn't have money to buy gas all the way, straight in. They would stop and pick cotton, work on a farm enough to get some money to buy them something to eat and gas for the car, and come home. And I don't remember where the black guy lived, but it was somewhere around Rocky Mountain, I reckon. Roy bring him back.
I'm surprised the military didn't provide him transportation
I
back.
think it was different then, I think, and it is now. What's the name? I don't know. Because I don't know the whole story. Roy had his uniform, his hat and everything, though, in a trunk out there that Iffy had.
That was Roy, that was Ernest.
Roy. I don't think Ernest was never in service with him.
That was the army, he was in the army.
How did she break it again?